Alright guys, today I'm just going to be ranking all of the Dragon Ball Heroes units from worst to best, and two things. One, this is all my opinion. This is all like, if you want to think Pikkon is the best, you can do that. Like, I'm not stopping you. This is just my list. Now, number two, I am only ranking the summonable units, because there's no real reason to rank the free-to-play units, because no matter what, everybody can farm them, everybody can get them. But this is just to show you, like, hey, if you get this guy, you know, be hype, they're super good. Or, hey, if you get this guy, you kind of got the short end of the stick, you know? So starting off at number 18, because there are 18 Dragon Ball Heroes units, and they all should be coming global in, like, 3-4 days, something like that. So starting off, we have Super Paikuan. Now, I'm going to lead off by saying he is definitely a good unit, but he only has one category, and when he comes out on global, he's going to have 0 categories. So, because of that, there's no real place to use him, you know? But let's get into breaking him down. He gives, well, his leader skill, obviously, is all types get 3 key, HP attack, and defense 60%. He causes supreme damage to enemy and greatly lowers attack. Greatly lowering attack is a super good mechanic nowadays, because they've kind of backed off from not allowing us to do it anymore. So that's very, very good. And then if you look at his passive, he gives 3 key, attack and defense 80%, and launches an additional attack which has a medium chance to become a super, which could mean he greatly lowers attack twice, which is super good. And then when facing only one enemy, launches an additional attack which has a high chance to become a super attack. I misread that. So when he's only facing one enemy, he has an additional that has a medium chance, and when he's facing 2 or more, he has an additional that has a high chance. That's what it is. And now his links, he has Gentleman, Brainiacs, Tough as Nails, Shocking Speed, Experienced Fighters, Supreme Warrior, I almost said Supreme Power, and Shattering the Limit, and he's only on the Rivals category. And if you look at his stats aren't even that great either, so he's definitely a solid unit if you look at him. Like, if you have the new Piccolo that's out on JP, this guy is definitely a solid option for the Rivals team. Like, if the Rivals team ever gets to Super Battle Road stage, I mean, this guy will be super good there, because he does lower attack. He has that additional that can lower attack as well. So he's definitely good, but he's just the worst out of the Dragon Ball Heroes units. Now, at number 17, we have Super Mira. Now, I know you've probably seen Super Mira a lot, and Super Mira is super duper good in the Legendary Goku event. Everywhere else, he's kind of underwhelming. Because the main thing that he does that makes him super good for the Legendary Goku event is he greatly raises defense. And that's a 99 turn stack, so that is super duper good. But that is the best part of his card. So let's just, you know, start from the top. He gives extreme STR types 3 key, HP attack and defense 70%. So he's like STR Omega Shenron, but he has another restriction, so, you know. And then obviously greatly raises defense, causes supreme damage to enemy. His passive, he gets attack plus 100%, which is good, you know, that's a good number. And disables enemy's guard. No one cares about disabling enemy's guard, I'm not gonna lie, because a lot of people think that's the Gogeta mechanic, where, like, you hit type effective on everybody, but that's not what that is. Disables enemy's guard is basically like, if this guy were to attack an agility type, instead of the arrow pointing, like, straight down, it would point, like, to the side. So, it's not that big of a deal. And then he also, attack and defense, minus 20% for 2 turns, and that's just the attacked enemy, so that's decent too. But 2 turns is kind of not great. 3 turns would be better, because then he could stack it for 1 turn. But, you know. And then his links, Android Assault, Yikes, Demon Duo. That is a 20% attack link, but you're never really going to see it, you know. Berserker, a 25. Okay, no, just 20% attack link. But again, you're never going to see it, because first off, pretty much only him and Broly cards have it. And you have to be below 50% HP. Tough as Nails, Yikes. Nightmare is a good link. Fear and Faith is a good link. So he's a Nightmare and Fear and Faith, and those are about his only good links. And then he's on the Resurrected Warriors category, the Android category, Time Travelers, and Artificial Life Form. So the whole reason this guy was above Pikkon is, first of all, because as an SSR, he has higher stats than Pikkon. And second of all, like, he just has way more categories. So moving down to number 16, we have got Black Mass Saiyan. I don't know who this could be. For some reason, he's on the Vegeta's family category. I don't know why. I mean, no one knows who he is. Is that still a funny joke? Is that... Alright, anyways. He has extreme AGL types, 3 key, 70% stats. He causes immense damage. I didn't realize he caused immense. Okay. And lowers attack and defense. And then he gets attack and defense 90% when ki is 6 or more, plus an additional attack and defense plus 30% when ki is 8 or more, and then 2 ki when ki is 10 or more. So this guy's very self-sufficient. He causes immense damage, which I didn't even realize. Okay. He lowers his attack and defense. I might have moved him up if... So, this guy might not be number 16. Pretend he's moved up a little bit, because I didn't realize he did immense. Although he does only have 3 categories. He has Pure Saiyans, Time Travelers, and Vegeta's Family. And his links are Saiyan Lineage, Saiyan Warrior Race, Royal Lineage, Prodigies, Berserker, and Prepared for Battle. So Prodigies and Prepared for Battle are really the 2 good links there. Like, obviously he can get Saiyan Lineage and Saiyan Warrior Race active, but 1 ki and 700 attack is like kind of whatever. So maybe this guy isn't number 16 on this list. What are his stats looking like? Yeah, he can stay number 16 actually. He has very low attack. Once he awakens he probably won't, but right now he has very low attack. So now, moving on down, we have Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Now, a lot of people are going to be upset about this. Now, I'm not saying Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is, like, bad, right? He's a good option on the Super Saiyan 3, on fusions. He's not really a good option on hybrids. He gives tech types 2 ki and attack and defense plus 70%. He doesn't even give HP. That's funny. This guy did come out over 2 years ago, by the way, on JP. So, that could have something to do with it. But anyways... His passive, he just gets 100% attack when performing a super attack, which is the most whatever thing ever. Also, super attack, he raises attack for 6 turns, so he can hit kind of hard, especially with support unit on rotation. Like, if you have a buff when performing a super attack, if you get a support unit on rotation, that, like, buffs them crazy. And now his links are super good for, like, the Fusions team, or Super Saiyan 3. He has Super Saiyan, Fused Fighter, Over the Flash, Limit Breaking Form, Budding Warrior, Kamehameha, and Fierce Battle. And he has very, very low attack, actually. I didn't notice that. Just 13,500. But this guy's a decent option for Fusions, but Fusions has so many glass cannons that are better than this guy. It's like, you could use him just because he's like a Dragon Ball Heroes card, I guess, but, you know, you don't need to. And then moving on down, we have Boo Bobbity Absorbed. So... This guy is the one that I feel like I'm going to get the most slack for putting him this high. I don't know. But he gives N-types 3 ki HP attack and defense 80%, which is actually the best leader skill we've seen so far. Because it's supreme damage to enemy with a high chance of stunning. So high chance of stunning is good. We're already seeing some good stuff. He gets defense plus 80% for himself. So that's just for himself, and he always gets that. And then all allies get 40% defense when HP is 81% or above. All allies get 3 ki and 40% attack, and recovers 5% HP when HP is 80% or less. So that is pretty good. Now, if I were to build this guy, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to build him how pretty much I feel like not many people would. I would give him 15 additional and 11 dodge. No crit at all, just because he doesn't do damage. Like, when you're above 80% HP, he's going to have no attack from his passive. And when you're below 80% HP, he's going to have 40% attack. So, he's here for, like, the rest of the team, and additional is obviously because of this high chance to stun up here, and then, like, dodges just because, like, you know, he does get some defense, and he's like a support unit, so he's there not to get hurt, basically. So his links, he has Majin, Brutal Beatdown, Master of Magic, More Than Meets the Eye, Metamorphosis, Nightmare, Shattering the Limit, Transformation, and I was just reading his categories like they were links, whatever. His categories are Transformation Boost and Artificial Life Form. Transformation Boost, he could work there, just because obviously, the STR Super Boo is the leader, so he does have those Majin links. He won't work quite as well on Artificial Life Forms, but I guess you'd give him a try. And oh my god, his attack is the lowest thing I've ever seen. He has 12,583 attack as a summonable unit. That's very bad. So he's fine. He can obviously stun. He gives defense or attack depending on your HP. So moving on down. Now this guy, Dark Masked King, surprised me when I looked through him like early, like right before I made this video. I looked through all the units again just to make sure I knew where I wanted to put him. He surprised me. I didn't realize he did what he did. So he gives Extreme Int types 3 ki, HP attack and defense 70%. He causes immense damage to enemy. Also, I didn't realize he caused immense. And lowers attack and defense. He gets attack and defense plus 80%, plus an additional 70% defense for 4 turns after receiving an attack, and recovers 10% of damage dealt his health. So he has immense damage, and he gets 80% attack and defense, and he recovers 10% of that damage on his health. So if this guy cranks out like a, I haven't seen like a Rainbow Showcase for him in a while, but if this guy like cranks out like a 1.4 million attack stat, and then he actually does like, 500,000 damage, he's healing you 50,000 HP. That's like super good. He's on the, well, first off his links, he has the Saiyan lineage, Saiyan warrior race, royal lineage. What is this link? Hold up. Loyalty. I've never seen this link before. What the heck? Okay, so it seems to be just a link for, I don't know. This seems super weird. It seems like anyone who works for Frieza's family, but then also Dragon Ball Heroes and some GT. I don't get it. Whatever. We're gonna go back. That was a link that I didn't even know existed. Loyalty, Berserker, and Prepared for Battle are his links. And then he's on the same categories as the other Masked Saiyan, which is Pure Saiyans, Time Travelers, and Vegeta's family. And his attack is pretty low, but it's not the lowest we've seen this far. It's 13,337, so that's fine. Also, when I'm talking about attack, I am talking about the rainbow attack, And then moving down, I feel like a lot of people are going to be upset about this too. I have Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Xeno. Like, I don't know where exactly we are, but there's like this many people. Like, you can see at the top all my tabs. There's this many people left, and this is where I have Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Xeno. And it's really just because he's just a hard hitter who can not really defend. So he gets super physical types, 3 key HP, attack and defense 70%. He causes immense damage to enemy and greatly lowers defense. He gets attack and defense 80% and it disables enemy's guard, plus an additional attack 50% when performing a super attack. So he will hit hard, right? But that's like all he does, Like, Xeno Goku, he does this, and he, instead of getting 50%, he gets 30% on this, and then he also has a guaranteed guard ability. And there are only 3 units in the game that have a guaranteed guard ability. It is the Xeno Super Saiyan 3 Goku, it is Inchinimba, and STR Janemba. Those are the only 3 units in the game that have a guaranteed guard, and that's why he is infinitely better than Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Xeno. So links, he has Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior, Royal Lineage, Prodigies, Over in a Flash, and Limit Breaking Form. He fits pretty well in the Super Saiyan 3 team, like all Super Saiyan 3s do, just because they all have Over in Flash, Limit Breaking Form, Super Saiyan. So he's on Super Saiyan 3, Pure Saiyans, Time Travelers, Vegeta's family, and Rivals. And his attack is decent for just being an SSR. 13-7 is a decent attack. Okay, and I didn't mean to scroll all the way down here. We're just going to exit this page. That was him. So then Demigra. I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, why is Demigra this high? But it's just because he gives ki, and he also has a decent amount of attack. He lowers enemies' attack and defense. Very good. So he gives extreme physical types, 3 ki, 70% stats. He greatly raises attack for 1 turn and causes supreme damage to enemy, which means if he got an additional super attack, he would be doing like so much more damage. But anyways, his passive, 120% attack, which is a very good amount of attack. Extreme class allies get 3 ki, which again, that's like agility, rose, that's very good. And then all enemies get attack and defense minus 20%, which is like super good for Super Battle Road. Like, units that do that passively are super good on Super Battle Road, because you'd be floating them off, but each time they're on rotation, they're just helping the whole rotation defend so much better. His links are Master of Magic, Demon Duo, Brainiacs, Revival, Fear and Faith, and Godly Power. That is just a weird mismatch of links, because it starts off kind of looking like he's going to be a Boo looking card, and then he ends up looking like a Supreme Kai. I don't know. His categories, he's on Resurrected Warriors, Realm of Gods, and Time Travelers. I feel like all of the Dragon Ball Heroes units, except for like the Super Saiyan 3s and stuff, their best team is probably Time Travelers, just because you can fill it up with units that are similar to them, just because there are so many units on the Time Traveler team. Like, once this update comes out, because pretty much all of these units are on the Time Travelers team, the Time Travelers team is one of like the largest categories in the game. So that's something to think about. So there he was. Now, moving on down, we have Super Saiyan 3 Trunks. Super Saiyan 3 Trunks, I thought about moving higher, but it's like, he is just a good defensive unit, and I know a lot of people are like, I don't like defense, I just like to go through Dokkan events fast, and it's like, well, then this guy isn't for you. He gives agility types 3 key and 80% stats. He causes supreme damage to enemy and raises defense by 30% for 9 turns. A 9-turn stack, like, only 3 units in the game, I think, have a 9-turn stack. I think it's AGL, Super Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3, this Super Saiyan 3 Trunks, and then Super Saiyan 3 Gohan. They all have 9-turn stacks, and I think those are the only units in the game that do that. So he has attack and defense plus 100%, he disables enemies guard, whatever, and he has a high chance to guard all attacks. So, even like this Super Saiyan 3 Trunks, he doesn't even have the guaranteed guard like the Super Saiyan 3 Goku does, and Super Saiyan 3 Goku hits harder, and Super Saiyan 3 Goku is an SSR, you know? So, that's just one thing to think about. Links on this guy, he has Super Saiyan, Royal Lineage, Golden Warrior, Cold Judgment, Over in a Flash, Limit Breaking Form, and Shattering the Limit. His categories is on Hybrid Saiyans, Super Saiyan 3, Time Travelers, and Vegeta's Family. Again, another Time Travelers buff. And this guy is skating the line. He has 13,000 attack, almost exactly. He's almost at 12,000 when he's rainbowed. So, let's move on down. We're starting to get into the super good units. And actually, I'm going to say right now we are getting into the super duper good units. So, this Goku, he gives for a leader skill, he gives Goku's family category 3 key and 90% stats, which is a decent leader skill, but you should have a better Goku's family leader, because right now in Global, let's just run through all the Goku's family leaders that are better than him. LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, LR Gohan and Goten, the Tech Kaioken Goku, the Super Saiyan 2 Angel Goku. It's like 2 out of the 4 of those units are super easy to obtain, and they're better Goku's family leads than this guy. But, you know, if you don't have them, you know, he's a decent lead. His super attack is Kamehameha, which raises his attack infinitely and causes supreme damage to enemy, which is a good mechanic, but I put the Vegeta better than him, because the Vegeta and Goku are like the same unit. It's just, there's one difference, and I'll get to it when we get to Vegeta. His passive is attack and defense plus 77% at the start of turn, and then he gives Goku's family category allies 2 key and 30% to attack and defense, which is good. And then his links, Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Kamehameha, Patrol, which is another link I didn't know existed, Experienced Fighters, and Prepare for Battle. So he has pretty good links here. He has Prepare for Battle, he has Experienced Fighters, he has Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Kamehameha. These are all very normal links you'd see on like a Goku's family team. And then his categories is on Time Travelers, Pure Saiyans, and Goku's family. This guy you really only use on Goku's family though, because like, unless if you wanted to run him on another team just because you didn't have a better option with the 77% attack and defense. But like, on Time Travelers you're not going to be running many other Goku units, I guess. You can run him wherever you want, but I wouldn't say it's the best idea to run him outside of the Goku's family team. And then here we have the Int Vegeta, who I do think is slightly better than the Goku, and I'll show you why when we get to it. So this guy, he's the same card, but for Vegeta's family, okay? So he supports Vegeta's family, he gets attack and defense plus 77%, his leader skill, he leads Vegeta's family, and he raises defense infinitely, which I feel like is a much better mechanic than raising attack infinitely, because, like, raising attack infinitely, like, if you take that into the Legendary Goku event, by the end you're going to be hitting pretty hard, but by the end you're also going to be taking so much damage. But this guy, on my JP, I took him into the Legendary Goku event, by the end he was taking no damage. I made a rotation of this guy and Super Saiyan 3 Trunks, because they both stack defense, and Trunks can guard, and Trunks has defense on his passive. So, like, and plus this guy gives defense on his passive. So, they were such a good defensive rotation for the Legendary Goku event once you get, like, deep in it. So this guy really surprised me. His links, he has Saiyan Warrior Race, Royal Lineage, Prodigies, Patrol, Experienced Fighters, and Prepared for Battle. His categories are Pure Saiyans, Time Travelers, Vegeta's Family, and Rivals. I keep on forgetting the Rivals categories in the game, I'm not gonna lie. And his attack, it's super low, but he is just a support unit. He has 12,278 attack. Alright, so now we're in the final 7. So we have Super Saiyan 3 Gohan Teen. He gives Int types 3 key and 80% stats. He causes supreme damage to enemy and raises attack for 9 turns. So again, this is one of those 9-turn stacks that we're seeing. Now his passive, he gets attack and defense plus 100%, plus an additional attack and defense plus 60% when performing a super attack. So the way that works, that's not 160% attack and defense. That actually they should have it down here. It comes out to be, yeah, that comes out to be 220% attack. So that is super good, and that also, like, it helps support units work better on him, as well as like links and stuff. So his links, he has Super Saiyan, Saiyan Lineage, Saiyan Warrior Race, experienced fighters, over in a flash, limit breaking form and shattering the limit. Now this guy is a same with Super Saiyan 3 Trunks, but I just didn't think about it. This guy's a super good linking partner for LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku because he has over in a flash and shattering the limit. So just from links, he's getting 5 ki to Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and he needs it. And then his categories, he's on Hybrid Saiyans. I wouldn't use him on Hybrid Saiyans. Super Saiyan 3, it's super good option for Super Saiyan 3. And Goku's family. You can run an over in a flash variant of Goku's family, I guess. You can run him, you can run Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, you can run a Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I guess you could try that. Then you could also run the GT Kid Goku if you wanted. So this guy's super duper good. And now here we have Great Saiyaman 3. Now, the only problem with him is there's really only one place to use him. But once again, we'll get into that in a sec. He gives Super Class 3 ki and 80% stats. He causes immense damage to enemy and raises Super Class allies' attack by 25% for 1 turn. Now, his passive, he gets attack and defense 17% and a chance to perform a crit up 3% per Time Traveler's category ally on the team. So that can go up to times 7. So that is like, I'm not going to do the quick maths, but that's over 100%, I'm pretty sure. And then he also gets defense minus 30% within the same turn after receiving an attack, counters with tremendous power upon receiving normals. So this is something I feel like they didn't need him to have, the defense minus 30%, because that is for himself. Like, after he gets hit one time, his defense goes down. His defense is really high. He has 10,000 defense. Although, isn't he a TUR? Yeah, he is a TUR. Never mind. His defense isn't too crazy high, like I thought it was. And his link skills: Infighter, Hero, Hero of Justice, Patrol, Rival Duo, Respect, Shattering the Limit. Respect is such an awful link. Plus 500 attack, and no one has it. Categories: he has Hybrid Saiyans, Vegeta's family, and Time Traveler. You would probably only want to use them on Time Traveler. I guess you'd use them on Hybrid Saiyans if you really wanted to, because there are a lot of Hybrid Saiyan Time Travelers just because of all of the Trunkses. So now we're in the top 5, okay? So starting, number 5, we have Darkness Toa. I thought about moving Darkness Toa down a little bit, but everybody who's left here, I just like so much. So she gives AGL types 3 ki and 80% stats. She causes supreme damage to enemy and lowers attack. And then her passive. Extreme class allies get 3 ki and 30% attack and defense. And then extreme class allies attack and defense plus 50% and recover 100% of your HP when HP is 30% or below, once only. So most of the time you're only going to be seeing the extreme class allies 3 ki attack and defense 30%. Which, you know, that is good. But if you bring her into Super Battle Road and you get below 30% HP, she heals you back to max and gives your whole rotation 50% stats, which is nuts. I've heard some people saying this stacks. I don't think it stacks, the 30% and the 50%, but it could. What do I know? So her links: Master of Magic, Demon Duo, Battlefield Diva, Rival Duo, Scientist, Thirst for Conquest, and Shattering the Limit. Now she is on Peppy Gals, Time Travelers, Resurrected Warriors, and Siblings Bond. I would really only recommend using her on Time Travelers and Resurrected Warriors, because those are 2 categories that have a lot of extreme types, and those are the only type of units that get buffed by your passive. But if you're like missing a spot on a Peppy Gals team, you could run her, just like, especially for Super Battle Road, just because she does heal you when you get below 30%, excuse me. So, and her stats are fine. What's her defense? Yeah, her stats are actually pretty good. So number 4, we have Super Baby Janemba. Now this fucking guy, he gets 80% stats and 3 ki to agility types. He causes supreme damage to enemy and massively lowers defense. And now his passive, he recovers 10% HP at the start of turn. So that is already super good. He gets attack and defense plus 80% at the start of turn as well. He has a high chance to evade enemies' attack, including super attacks. So he heals, he gets attack and defense, and he has a high chance to dodge all attacks. So there's just nothing bad about this guy. His links are pretty good too. He has Thirst for Conquest, he has Shocking Speed, Metamorphosis, Coward is a whatever link, Fear and Faith, Hatred of Saiyans, and Shattering the Limit. He has pretty good links. The only bad thing about him is he's only on Transformation Boost and Artificial Life Form, and his stats aren't the best. Out of everybody here, he probably has some of the worst stats for a TUR, but that's still, like, his kit is just crazy. Recovering HP, attack and defense, high chance to dodge is nuts. So now we're in the top 3. All of these are, like, the hypest characters you could pull. So starting off, we have the Supreme Opie of Time. The Supreme Kai of Time. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm clowning. She gives super tech types 3 key, HP, attack, and defense 70%. She causes supreme damage to enemy and seals super attack. Now the reason she is not higher, because I know a lot of people would probably have her at number 1. I'm not a big fan of RNG passives. So the way her passive works, she gives all allies 2 key, attack and defense plus 20%, and a chance to perform a crit plus 7%, that's already a decent passive, right? But she has a great chance to perform, well, not to perform, but to give allies 20% more attack, and a great chance to give allies 20% more defense. So a great chance is about 70%. So about 70% of the time she's going to give 40% attack or 40% defense. But I don't really like RNG passives. So that's why she's not like number 1 or number 2, but she still is very good. Her links, for support units, links don't matter too much, but Master of Magic, Rival Duo, More Than Meets the Eye, Cold Judgment, Telekinesis. That's another link that I didn't know existed, I'm not gonna lie. And then Godly Power. Her categories, Patara, Realm of Gods, Time Travelers. She's super good on all of her categories. And then her stats are fine. She is just an SSR. Do you remember that? So now number 2, we have Sealess. Sealess is the only one of the Dragon Ball Heroes cards that can fuse. So we're going to be talking about that after we break him down right now. So his later skill, he gives 3 key and 70% stats to all types. So it's not just like super class, extreme class, it's everybody. He causes immense damage to enemy and greatly lowers defense. And his passive skill, he gives himself attack and defense plus 100% when performing a super attack. And then he gives Artificial Life Forms category allies 1 key and 20% attack, and Time Traveler category allies 1 key and 20% attack. And then he fuses when conditions are met. And conditions are met starting from the 5th turn. So that's a decent transformation mechanic. Obviously, like, 4th turn would be better, but 5th turn with no other restriction is fine. And now one thing is, he is going to be giving himself this extra 40% attack, and that's about all he's going to be giving that extra 40% attack to, because, like, no one else is an Artificial Life Form and a Time Traveler, you know? So his links, he has Brainiacs, Thirst for Conquest, Big Bad Bosses, Cold Judgment, Shocking Speed, Infighter, and Shattering the Limit. And he has 2 categories, which are obviously the ones he supports. He has Transformation Boost and Time Travelers. And then after the 5th turn, well, first off, his attack is the highest out of every single Dragon Ball Heroes card. He has 15,000 attack. And then after the 5th turn, he seals. He fuses. And then obviously his later skill stays the same. His super attack now massively lowers defense instead of greatly. And now his passive. He gets 3 key attack and defense plus 60% at the start of turn, plus an additional 120% when performing a super attack. So he's no longer a support unit, but this guy will put out like a 2 million attack stat easy. Like, he hits super hard, and after he supers, he'll defend very well. Don't you remember what Super Saiyan 3 Gohan did? He basically does the same thing, but he gets the 60% at the start of turn, and 120 on super attack. Which, does that multiply together the same way, or is it different? Okay, so he gets 250% attack and defense when performing a super attack, is how that multiplies together. If you're wondering what I'm looking at, it's right here. Well, hold on, let me just make sure. I got the attack as well. Right, that's nuts. With 15,000 attack, which isn't like Dokkan Fest exclusive level, but it is pretty high. That's nuts. And his categories don't change, and his links don't change. This guy is the best featured unit on the banner, I would say. Because I assume they're just going to release the same banner they had on JP. So they will have like 7 units featured, and then all the rest will just be unfeatured. And then the last guy, you probably know who it is. It's Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Super Saiyan 3 Xeno Goku is, in my opinion, the best unit on the Dragon Ball Heroes banner. He's just nuts. His leader skills, whatever. He gives 3 key and 70% to STR types, Super STR types. But his super attack, he causes supreme damage. He has a medium chance to stun. Okay, he gets attack and defense plus 80%, plus an additional 30% attack when performing a super attack. And then his guard is activated against all attacks, which basically means he has damage reduction. Like, even if he's being hit by an agility type, it does reduce some of the damage he takes. I know it's not damage reduction because it doesn't say damage reduced by blah blah blah, but it does reduce the damage he takes. So I don't want to. A lot of people are upset when I say he reduces damage, but it's like, no, he doesn't. He has guard, but the guard reduces the whatever. His categories: he has Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior, the Saiyan lineage, Kamehameha, Over in a Flash, and Limit Breaking form. His categories: he has Super Saiyan 3, Pure Saiyans, Time Travelers, and Goku's family. And now he has about 14,000 attack, a little less than 14,000 attack. His defense isn't great, but he makes up for it with the guard, and then also because the attack multiply together. What is his final attack buff? It's 134% attack, and then links are factored in like higher because of the way this passive works. So are support type passives. So this guy's crazy. So that is all of the summonable Dragon Ball Heroes units. I broke them down, I ranked them a little bit. Let me know how you guys feel about them. Let me know which one you guys think is the best. Let me know which one you guys think is the worst. Let me know which one you guys think I oversold or undersold the most. But anyways, guys, if you guys did enjoy this video, please consider leave a like, a comment, subscribing to the channel. My name has been Blah, and I'll see you guys next time.